Dad, in the last few years, I think I've just been so grateful looking at the legacy of our family. I know we're not a family that typically just sits down and has these like heart-to-hearts and tell all the stories, but I want this opportunity to be able to ask you things I've never asked you.
Franklin, yes, sir. Come here. And we'd have a conversation. The police called. And I understand you locked the door. Well, I've opened the gate. He's coming up here. If he wants to arrest you, then I will support him.
Let's go back to the summer of 1974, 50 years ago.
My father said, where do you want to go for your birthday? We want to go take you to lunch. I said, well, it's just an Italian place. Okay. So we met there at 12 o'clock. So we walked, I don't know, 100 yards or so. And he said, Franklin, I want you to know your mother and I, we love you, and we're proud of you. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. And I want you to know, Frank, that no matter what you do in life, you're always welcome home. Well, I never doubted that, but all right. Thank you. Then we walked a little farther, then he stopped and he looked at me and he said, Franklin, I feel that there is a battle for the soul of your life, and you're going to have to choose either to accept Christ and to follow him or to not.
I've always said there's nobody I would want more in a crisis than my dad. You love to help people. When there's a crisis, you run to it. That's what you've taught us as kids. What's been the hardest part of ministry over the years?
I think sometimes people in life, ministry or whatever, you're doing things that you're not called to. And so therefore it becomes a job. And there isn't joy. I've never thought of Samaritan's Purse as a job, or running the Billy Graham Association as a job. It's just what I do.
But when you look back at growing up from your parents, what is something you might have caught from them, things that you learned?
Well, I think my father, when it came to criticism, he just kept doing his work. If they want to throw dirt at me or throw mud at me, they'll just have to hit me in the back.
Dad, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to be known for?
I'm not one of these people that look back over my shoulder. You do that, that's all you'll do. I'm one of these people that wants to look ahead to what God has for next and try to make sure that I make the right decisions tomorrow, the next day, and the day after that. Daddy was like that. Daddy never looked back over his shoulder. He always looked forward.
There's not a bigger compliment in the world if somebody was to tell me you're like your dad. And I just want to say thank you.